All right. Welcome back. Team Singularity up 2-1 over the Greek boys from Finem. We got a couple of games coming up if you're a fan of the Greeks, and just one if you're a Singularity supporter. We got a spot at the minor on the line. These teams could potentially win that tournament and then go to the major, place top 3 there, and win a trip to TI. But Cap, what do you think?
I think this is a hype way to start a project.
Hell yeah.
Dude, if we could, honestly, this would actually be so nice to have on any panel or
Yes.
casting in this environment helps. I'm not sure if it would fit in a regular tournament, but like any sort of panel or something makes it way more interesting to have something like this.
It is, because what we're doing, like, it's pretty boring just to watch two morons talk to each other for like 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Even longer if you're watching the international version of this cast. And what we're really missing is props. Okay, so obviously we've got a couple. I've been wearing my wizard hat, as you can see, for a few days now. It also has the added benefit of preventing the satellites from stealing my thoughts. But a soundboard is sort of like a DIY prop. You can make it. There you go. Like, it just says things. Well, what? That's it. Oh.
Oh, wait. Do I have something for this? I don't know if I have something for this. Oh, you're right. That would be a good one.
Well.
Come on!
Well, anyway, yeah, so props are cool. That's what I'm saying. We're missing props in esports, but this is a nice replacement.
Your blanket.
I do. I've had a blanket literally all day today.
I just noticed, Kyle. Try to pay as little attention to you as possible.
I don't blame you there.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
What's that from?
That is from... I'm not sure. Let me check.
I've yet to do this one.
You must construct additional pylons.
A little hard to pull that one off.
Yeah. Where that one fits in.
There was a moment in a conversation
Yeah.
where I was like, oh, that would have worked. I just like this one.
One's good. So what's the verdict?
Guilty!
Okay.
What? Stop looking at me. What'd I do?
You know, Kyle really talks the talk about, like, you can't really be embarrassed if you're always just putting yourself out there and making a fool of yourself. But you could tell when he does something like that and you just straight-faced looked at him for a while, Kyle starts getting real awkward. He's like, wait, you're supposed to be laughing at me right now. Why aren't you laughing at me?
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
When it gets quiet. That's actually one of my biggest... so one time I went to a dinner party, and it also taught me to be very mindful of where you sit if you ever go to a dinner party. Because I knew I was with my girlfriend, my mom, and my brother. And then there were like 4 friends, like a work friend, my mom, and his 3 friends. But instead of sitting in like our 2 groups, right, we sat 4 across and 4 across. So instead of hanging out with like my mom and my brother and talking to them, there's just like 2 dudes I don't really know or care about that are just like half of my party now.
Okay.
And yeah, it was weird. There's a lot of they were quiet guys. I didn't know what to do.
Before you went into that, you were going to talk about how you're uncomfortable with silence.
Well, that's what I mean. Not silence, but we didn't really. The dudes were the most talkative. My girlfriend was obviously the person I was most interested in talking to. So it was just kind of awkward. And I can't handle things when they're awkward. It actually, like, the movie, you ever watch Freaks and Geeks?
Yes.
You ever watch?
Well.
So any show like that, the same thing with, like, I tried to watch, like, 8th Grade, the Bo Burnham movie. Anything that, because you know what it is? It takes me back to when I was that age and doing things that were that cringy, and it like it's like entering that like a time capsule, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, makes me feel really uncomfortable. I have to pause it. I have to do something else. The Office does that to me sometimes too, when it's just so
the UK version
when
of
Kevin
The Office
drops
was very hard to watch.
It took
for me as an American, because I think Americans are more susceptible to that.
What to like other like to the pain. Like, do we empathize better with it? What are you talking about?
I think we just find the awkward, like the awkward, painfully awkward situations like a lot. It's just
painful,
yeah. Like I enjoyed the UK Office, but I know a lot of people who could not watch that.
Yeah.
Because it was a much harder version of that. That's why the American Office is like a lot more like goofy Steve Carell, but at the end of the day, everyone still loves him. Everyone in the office is like hates the boss.
Yeah.
You know, and they want him to suffer. You know.
There's like that's the reason a lot of British people think American humor is garbage. Because we have this we put this like fun spin on it, right? Whereas, so we in America, the idea is that we like to laugh
I think
at the
humor's
person.
more in your face with American humor. It's
Sort
less,
of.
It's less subtle.
The
I would say.
British mentality is like, you're laughing partly because it's ridiculous or this is just a funny situation, but you're also laughing partly because you recognize its similarity to your own life. The Brits are very pessimistic and all that. So, it's a way of saying, we understand you.
To say in a more European-friendly manner, I would say that British humor is a lot sharper than American humor.
Ricky Gervais actually is the one who said something about it because he compared the two offices.
Ah.
Yeah, exactly. I would say the Americans are more down the line. They don't hide their hopes and fears. They applaud ambition and openly reward success. Brits are more comfortable with life's losers. We embrace the underdog until it's no longer the underdog.
What was his recent Netflix show? I enjoyed that a lot.
Oh yeah, that was a really good show.
Weispied. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called.
Sorry. Last line. Americans are brought up to believe they can be the next president of the United States. Brits are told it won't happen for you. And that is very true. Yeah. I cannot tell you how many teachers said, and one of you in this room might be our president. Like, no, we won't. Please. What's my last name?
I was in those classrooms, and I'd be like, sorry, miss, I'm not American. I'm not eligible. I was fucking smart, alecky little kid.
Dude, and it's a shame, really, because we would 100% have a Terminator president, and that would be incredible. I would 100% vote for Arnold.
Okay.
They picked Darkseer
to win the series. They have an Ember Spirit. If there was a game
to push
for
it to Game 5.
They didn't get their axe. The Saberlight axe is not happening. It's been banned. Ad Finem heard you guys.
I don't know. I'm not a big Darkseer fan, but who knows? They've got really sick synergy with it. Obviously, they've got Ember Spirit, so they've got the Lawnmower combo. They also have Vacuum with the Cuddle Ultimate, which works really well.
The Lawnmower combo?
Yeah, that's what somebody referred to it to that way like 2 or 3 years ago.
That's where you chop down all Treant's trees?
No. You have the Flame Guard and the Ion Shell going, so you just kind of kill everything that's around just by existing. I don't know why exactly. I don't know. Something about Lawnmower kind of fits it.
So it's sort of like your effect on a room full of... Never mind.
You got to commit, Kyle.
No.
No?
No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to take the L.
Okay.
What?
Kyle, do you ever take the W?
When I can.
Does you? Okay.
Well, look, I think, and it's funny because it has applications for Dota, but I think that it's much like poker in that it's not about maximizing on your wins, it's about minimizing your losses. It's folding instead of calling to save that money. The same way Dota teams need to just sacrifice the support and get out of there, or I guess tactically feed Sven so that he can buy back and then kill the enemy heroes that don't buy back, and then you win.
Yeah, but Kyle's always you're always calling for people to go in.
Yeah, isn't feeding your Sven maximizing your losses? I feel like that's not minimizing losses.
Well, yeah,
like here's a free Sven. That's them not minimizing their losses, but maximizing their wins. I feel like that's the exact opposite of what you just preached. To use your...
Listen, here's what I feel every single time we get some sort of Dota analysis, and then Kyle spurts it off into like a 10-minute rant about something. It's just pretty much this.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Well, like Kyle, where did that come from?
What?
Everything.
I honestly have no idea what you're referring to.
Like 90% of your analysis.
Do you ever hear? So you know, some people like. I'm a pretty good listener. So when I'm really listening, things don't go in one ear and out the other. That's how. Cap, stop. Cap, relax. Look, some people it goes in one ear and out the other, right?
Yeah.
And it's like this lateral movement. My problem is it's vertical. So these ideas come in through my ass, out my mouth, and then they're gone. I have no idea what happened, where they came from.
But
some people talk out of your ass. I actually absorb my ideas using it. It
But
filters through my digestion.
are you listening through there as well, or
No.
So, but I mean, I thought you said you're a good listener.
Well, this
Honestly,
is
Kyle,
You
over the
listen.
last like 6 days, that's the funniest thing you've said this entire time. Was that you were a good listener.
Okay. So back to listening. Some people you're saying goes in one ear, out the other, horizontal. Where does it go? Is yours like going downwards? Like where does it go after it goes in one ear? Which way are we?
well, it floats around. I internalize it.
Okay, internal. It stays inside.
Yeah,
And then there's other ideas going
that are
up
in
your
there.
ass.
Yeah, and they all kind of just get.
Okay.
We're going to throw
Tossed
back to
around.
this conversation. I would say probably about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, I just
think
wanna-
we throw back to this conversation about 20 minutes. That is as long as I can give Kyle to make some just egregious. Oh, hey, this item's here, which we already talked
Oh,
about.
hey,
5
Lee just
minutes
got a data list. By the way, guys.
So, setting up this fourth game.
Yeah.
A Wraith King, Ember Darks here from Singularity. I love this. I really got to favor their draft. I think they've been playing better in all the games this series, and they've got one of those lineups that can really take it to Ad Finem, and they're not on a clock, which has seemed thus far to be how Ad Finem really has a shot at winning these games, is taking them to the super late.
I think this Wraith King really... Like, I'm not a big fan of the Darkseer, but at least they had sick combos with it. It was an okay lineup. I think the Wraith King really lynched it. Cinched it?
Cinched it.
Yeah.
Clinched it.
No, clinched it, yeah. Lynched is
Cinched,
not the word
yeah.
there. That's for sure. Anyway, you look at this lineup from Ad Finem. It's, like, very burst heavy. So this Wraith King just naturally is going to be great for that. He's a good Ion Shell recipient. He's a really great Surge recipient as well. One of your problems against Gyrocopter is going to be getting kited around, but Surge is going to solve all of those problems.
I think this game really does come down to that Madara Gyro. Getting on top of the net worth, staying on top. You can't be one of those like no damage BKB Gyrocopters that just gets right-clicked by Wraith King. You actually need to be a huge kill threat at all stages of the game.
We going for some courier sniping?
Oh, something new. We haven't seen this. This could catch him by surprise.
Courier sniping without a ward or anything.
You can position so that you can see the courier from, I guess, this spot here maybe.
Yeah,
But
I'll probably jump down in a sec.
doesn't look like the courier is coming anytime soon. Mango or Salve could be purchased, but Mage not doing anything, and MNT says enough's enough.
Dyer's courier
Oh,
has been
no.
That courier snipe does work.
Oh,
right.
no. Well, look at that
He did
play.
the tree
He
branch.
tree planted. The boy's a beast.
MNT left mid so he could go get some wave pulls. And Saberlight playing kind of on his own is doing okay-ish so far.
I mean, this is just fine if you're Darkseer. And this is we talked about this. This is the downside of Undying in the laning phase, right? You used to be able to win lanes, and now you just kind of force them to pull, and it doesn't really feel so good.
Especially if he doesn't actively contest the CS. What?
DNZ gonna go invis.
What? Why'd you stop chasing the Darkseer? You took him down to 280 max health. You had
I
a
don't know.
gigantic right-click advantage over him. Chase him behind his tower, deny as many CS as you can get, maybe even right-click him a few times. Like, don't let him have the free level 2. Come on, Spartan.
Come on,
You're
man.
better than that.
Bottom lane, this is the one that you gotta win if you're at Finem, and I don't know if you can. Maybe next time. And he has been just bullied this entire tournament series. Really is not having the greatest showing here on that 4th spot.
Is Trent going for another courier snipe? Is that where he's headed? Will we see a second courier snipe?
The 2 times.
Thug is holding his own mid despite not having that courier. It will be respawning in
He's
10
doing
seconds.
great.
Came a bit early though, but getting prepared. He's going to camp it out. And this top lane, waves are being pulled. I don't know if Finem will have made this call that he might be going for that courier snipe. Does respawn, and here it goes. 240. It's still going to be a ground courier by the time it reaches him. If he's patient, he might actually find...
Oh, he scans him out. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Going the long way around. Oh my, he may just get killed instead though. Whoa, the rainbow TPs. 2 people coming in. Thug. He's going to get the heal from Spartan. Nicely done by Spartan to TP in first and give him that heal. And the courier will deliver. The Null Talisman's Mage going for this kill. He didn't have enough damage. Oh, the LSA. Fair bit off. Not that close indeed. But
I can't believe Thug took that risk. Because that was just a huge win back in his lane, being able to get the first blood and have a full healing salve.
Yep. He's got his bottle now coming out. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Spartan just TP mid to refill that bottle maybe after he uses the charges. Depends how he feels these other lanes are going. But Gyro's free farming up top. 23 and 6, not having too many problems up here. Does look like Spartan's going to change his tune and head towards his bottom lane though. Hoping for a 4-minute rune, I imagine, on Lina is Thug.
Think Skylark should go the max passive build? I find it's very effective against Wraith King.
Yeah, because of the skeletons. Yeah, I agree. I think you put at least the second point in it early.
Yeah.
I would. This is one of the few games I actually would not mind like a 0-2-2, especially since your lockdown comes from the Rasta.
Mm-hmm. Could go the mad approach as well. Maybe he's going to max out press the attack. Not as big of a fan of that ever since the phase boots change. It's just so value to get your passive. Wraith King is also a very squishy hero.
Mm-hmm.
He has this second life, so naturally he has to be a little squishy. And so his stats, he's very weak pre-level 6.
Yeah.
And watching Madara hold his own in this 1v2, very impressive so far. That's while farming underneath tower with iron shells on him. MNT's come up here.
Oh, and the Darkseer surged early.
Yeah, he
won't have it up.
And MNT could go for the shackles, he will, but there's an iron shell in the tree, and so MNT may die for this. Coddle shows up though, so the revenge kill is potentially there. MNT's gonna get back to his tower. Bounty runes have spawned. The race is on. Gyro may get the kill and the rune. Spartan's there as well. Double
He's no
kill.
in this. If he casts his rocket, that might be a kill.
But close. Neutral's taking a bit of a DNZ.
Leaf Seed!
Dude,
do something.
Madara's owning.
Dude,
Madara's
DNZ's
like,
not a tree player.
Madara is the best player in this series.
Yes.
But
his team might not win, but
he is the standout.
He deserves it. He's tried his best. You know, he's gotten some criticism. He's been perennially on that up-and-comer list and yet never really found mainstream success.
Yeah. He had a little stint on, Alliance last year when Quakeber was out.
He was someone OG thought about adding. I think they even tried him out.
Okay.
He's just been, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But one day, maybe not this day, but perhaps one day. Look at the net worth, though. Finem's already off to a huge lead in the laning phase. By far their best early game performance thus far.
They're perhaps not done. Supports up top. They don't know that DNZ's here, though, and that's going to maybe set up some aggression. MNT getting bullied in this top lane. Gets the Soul Repeal. As the Gyrocopter's going to go looking for Saberlight, and that's a big kill. You're happy to maybe make that trade. And hey, it's not even a trade. DNZ, he's in over his head. And Coddle died down bottom to Thug. Okay. Game 5, here we come.
So there's little things that DNZ is not doing right as a tree player. Like, you need to be a little bit more cognizant, especially with this Ion Shell, of like how big a backswing the Dream Protector has and how much space they're going to get away from you when you try and go for a right click. It's important to pay attention to your Q cooldown and like position yourself. It's more important to walk on top of somebody to make sure you get another Nature's Guise hit rather than just bonking them twice and then losing the Ion Shell radius. Like, there's a lot of little things that he's done wrong that has missed him 2 kills now.
And those are huge, because the problem is that it doesn't get your Darkseer online. If he gets those kills, he gets more experience, more Ion Shell levels, he'll have that HOD up faster instead. This is a level 5 Darkseer. This is not the kind of game you want.
His bottom lane's been kind of abandoned. Wraith King on his own does TP back down here to try and defend this tower, but there's a Lina here now as well, so we'll see what Wraith King can do. Does have level 6 if he wants to skill his ultimate, and it does look like Singularity is setting up for defense. Treant TP to the tier 2, and potentially additional TPs can come to this tier 1.
The other reason it's like really important to do things right at the top lane is that bottom lane is totally free for Skylark. If I'm 1v1 against a Wraith King, I know I'm gonna dumpster that matchup.
He missed 7 last hits there, guys. And I'm
Who?
The Wraith King.
Names. Okay.
He got 2 last hits out of a full 2 waves.
Okay. You know, it's been a long day for these teams.
Yeah.
We're in game 4. They had what, 70-minute game 1, a 55, 60-minute game 3.
Finem had to play the series before this.
Ember strength now rekindled.
All right, so DNZ is now going to be in charge of pulling creeps off of the tower at bottom lane, while Wraith King does full jungling.
Yeah. I think that's your best bet as a Wraith King to get a good time on this Midas. You're going to farm just faster in the jungle. Go to lanes when there's a big wave to take maybe, but this doesn't feel like the safest place to be.
Illusion.
Dahara, first item BKB queued up. I can hear you typing away, Kyle.
Pexu is
Huh? What?
on the run.
I can hear you
Yeah, I'm not
typing away.
typing. I'm definitely not.
Pexu got some aggressive vision up and then got spotted by Shadow Shaman and Thug. And unfortunately, will die for it, but a little bit of space created. Got a really deep ward. Hopefully, it's not countered.
Yeah, I like that positioning a lot. That's one of those wards that is very difficult to sentry.
It's a little weird that they smoked up. I think Thug has to show himself since his tower's getting hit.
I think it's just a warding smoke, I guess.
Yeah, it could be.
He knows they may be like behind on warding, and
Well,
he's going to be he's going to walk into observer, so that's not going to work. Sometimes if you know you're going to be walking through enemy wards, you want to smoke just because you don't want to get spotted planning your own observers.
Yeah, not sure. Duel on bottom lane. Might be able to kill DNZ. It's going to be a little close, though. DNZ doesn't get away in time. Almost activated his Nature's Guys fast enough.
Dude, what is it with this hood, though, man? Skylark again!
Total free farm
Every
lane.
game! I have no problem with the hood as an item purchase, but why first every time? You're owning, dude.
Yeah, this is a carry style offlaner that has been given a winning 1v1. Like, I think you want to scale with this guy.
I think you do too.
I think it's going to be a pretty good blade mount game. I think it's an excellent blink dagger game.
I'm cool. Shit, he could buy an armlet. He could buy a maelstrom. I'd be happy. Anything that increases his damage output, especially with the max press the attack, man. Look at him just beat on this tower.
He's a beefy boy. With the hood at least. Mid-tier 1 tower being pressured with the siege creep. Both teams making rotations around their siege creeps. Singularity head top. Finem going for the bigger objective in the mid lane, but unable to commit. They will glyph their siege to keep it alive a little bit longer, but the helm creep of the Darkseers rotates in with an Iron Shell, so they can't really stick around for too much longer.
Skylark using his max press the attack on the siege wagon for a very fast kill bottom.
Mid lane, they look to go on Mage. The Guna Blade gets him very close to death. A great Will-O-Wisp will get the full duration off. Dragon Slave going to get Saberlight low, but not get the kill. Ember surviving through it all.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Still, top 3 CS, all to the favor of Finem. Doesn't matter if Spartan dies every once in a while at this point. Getting so much more out of lanes. Look at this. They're going to get the dual kill. Monroe, who's farming that neutral camp while still being a part of the tree kill as well. Gets the last hit.
Kyle, you said it. When Spartans 50% or more of their deaths,
Yeah,
it's
they
good
look
news
great.
for Admin.
They look
Admin,
absolutely
yeah.
great.
That's exactly where we're at. He's 50% of their deaths.
Yep.
He's the guy that runs in, creates space and chaos, and allows Madara to farm.
You just got to keep it up. You got to keep dying the best he can.
Does look like we'll be seeing the Ags before the BKB on Gyros. I like this a lot better than the BKB had queued up before. I think you just want that farming item, given how Finem play around him.
Dice are scanning.
4K gold, they're going to smoke up. Finem looking to make moves, 4 to 10.
Here they come.
Dude, Skylark is just, he is going in for those towers, man.
This is the benefit of the hood. At least that's what he feels. He can just be this ultimate tank. MNT's very far forward. He needs to be
Look
careful.
at Spartan.
Oh.
He's so
Spartan.
far forward.
Drops the tombstone. He's got his spells off at least, so even if he dies now, it's probably okay. They're going to keep the tomb alive as long as possible. They killed the Wraith King the first time. This tomb needs to be dealt with. Saberlight gets Laguna. They do eventually kill the tomb, but at what cost? Excalibur caught in the middle of way too many Ad Finem heroes. And Mage, running out of remnants, has one last one. Will get the Sleight of Fist kill.
That was very big for Finem there. Now, Spartan goes down, but maybe next time already had. So it's very important he dies too to keep that 50% equilibrium.
And not just the 50% equilibrium, but it's also the support's the only ones to die, period. MNT and Spartan making up all the deaths. And
That was a
go ahead.
really cool read by Skylark to put that duel on the Darkseer. Right, naturally you would think you'd want to be able to like duel the Wraith King on his second life, or maybe even his first one. But by dueling the Darkseer, knowing he's not going to get the extra duel damage, he kept the Tombstone alive for like a solid 3 seconds, and that just means so much for that team fight in general.
Well, and now Ad Finem have a lot of freedom to go do the same thing. They're playing around fairly low cooldowns outside of maybe the Serpent Wards. Wraith King, on the other hand, has that behemoth of a level 1 reincarnation cooldown. He will not want to come to any fights anytime soon.
I also think it's just, in general, a good read by Skylark. The way he's addressing these towers, he knows the Treant Protector only has 1 level of living armor. He didn't get it until, I think, level 4 or 5, right?
Dude, this Madar guy is huge. He's about to finish his Ags after this hard camp respawn.
He needs to be careful not to get caught out. There's a lot of heroes rotating his way, and this is not the fight he was perhaps hoping for. Gets picked off
Well,
right before the Aghanim Scepter.
that's one way to throw a party.
Yeah. I
With
like
a
that.
blinking disco light in the middle.
Oh yeah, no way out. I like that teams are starting to make these moves before the bounty runes, because the bounty rune rotations are like, predictable. Like that gank succeeds on Gyro because it's a full minute before bounty runes even spawn.
Yep. And I will say, I like this is the gyro style that I approve of. Like, I've seen a lot. Some games like this, you want to get the treads. He's been playing with the Blade of Alacrity after the Wraith Band drop. So it's effectively using all 6 slots for damage, and then he's going to finish his Ags. Not just the, hey, I have enough gold for a point booster, let me buy it, that you would typically see sometimes out of these gyros. Go for the max efficiency.
And making sure he plays like he is the hard carry, getting the... Not just forcing coming to too many fights. Just because you go for this treads drums doesn't mean you suddenly stop farming and start smoking with your team and coming to every engagement. This is a big kill. No reincarnation if they can get this one, and they've got more than enough damage. This one is a winner-winner.
And you got to keep the aggression up. Wraith King does have a Midas. At some point, he'll be a real hero. Until then, just farming.
Radiant structure.
2K the gold lead, though. This is just because Singularity is always able to push lanes effectively,
Yeah,
thanks to their hero composition.
bigger lead earlier.
Radiant's top tower is under
And Finem
attack.
will take out this last tier 1 tower, it looks like.
Radiant's
Gyrocopter
top
with that
tower
Ag Scepter.
is falling.
Continuing to scale nice and fast. It's kind of the support who are struggling too on the Dire side. Like, they've still got top 3 net worth on all their cores, so... And a huge difference between the Gyrocopter and anyone on the Radiant side.
I think they just continue this 4 or 5 man march, right? You get your lanes in a little bit, then you 5 man into a lane, take a tower. I think you just continue this over and over again, because like they have this big team fight combo, but when you're this far ahead and this tanky on your cores, I'm not sure if they have enough damage to be able to blow somebody up fast enough, right? This Gyro has 1800 HP, and it's a maxed out press the attack with Pyth of Insight as well as Medallion.
Yep. Nah, you're not killing them. You need to just buy time. Keep shoving lanes like they're doing now. Mage is going to be able to finish it off his Maelstrom top. The Wraith King still moving on to that Radiance. If you can get to the, like level 20 plus 2 or 3 items per core, I think things start to shift a bit, especially because of the tree factor. The AoE route on the BKB timing is a big deal. Gyro doesn't typically want to buy Manta. He'll have to in this game if he doesn't want to be just KO'd by that route.
So they're not ready to go bottom yet, but I think like top gets pushed in, mid gets pushed in, and they just run towards bottom as the next tower to take.
Singularity smoked up. Making these moves outside of boundary and timings, maybe hunting down Madara. But this time he backs off. Smartly so. He was just about to get caught there as well. He may have died once this game, but he is heads up there. Skylark finds him, and he's the tanky one. Immediate duel coming out onto the Darks here. Doesn't have the damage to get this kill. Instead, it looks like Adfinem are going for other targets. They killed the Helm Creep, which is a good chunk of gold for Gyro. Hexu, no way out for him. And they're going to get 2 kills, plus a Helm Creep. Good money going Adfinim's way.
So they're very willing to battle against Singularity if they have the naivety to cross the river
Invisibility.
unaccompanied by their cores.
That was really heads up by Mara, because if he gets caught, he does die there. They can kill him when he's alone farming at those Ancients. Recognizing something was amiss.
It's funny, it's rare to see 2 abilities with this kind of dyssynergy. But the Vacuum and Blinding Light doing the exact opposite things, and Seed there ends up missing the Centaur stun. Not that it really would have changed anything. But yeah, Serpent Wards is up. Try and hit a tower.
Skylark is happy to frontline. He is so beefy and has Madara with all his damage output backing him up, so Skylark can find a dual target. Could imagine.
But there's still just a Wraith King farming away. You notice that goal lead of Adfinim's shrinking minute by minute when there's stagnation. It's primarily because they're always moving around as 5, while Singularity are split farming with at least 1, often 2 cores.
I thought they could hit that tower with Gyro, but maybe I'm wrong.
The coddle, the tree, you know, they don't have any BKBs yet.
Yeah, that's...
If you can't do it then, like, you know, that's just a misread, but you can't make that kind of move.
Yeah,
You
then
just
I
lost
agree.
a lot of time.
I agree.
The BKB timing is really what they're looking for. Both Lina and Gyrocopter are going to be getting it at similar-ish times. And yeah, there's overgrowth for it, but the key thing is you can still teamfight. You get overgrowth, well, you wait for it to end, and you're dodging spells, you're dodging nuke damage. You're not dying to Coddle Will-O-Wisp and Ember Searing Chains and things.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
What's weird is, like, it's just interesting overgrowth. It disables afflicted enemies from moving, blinking, going invisible, or attacking. It's strange. It's the only spell in Dota, I think, that forces you to keep your eyes open.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Like, there's some that want you to shut them. Like, you don't want to look at Medusa when she's stone gazing. But there's no other abilities, to my knowledge, that force you to look forwards.
Keep your eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What?
What?
The spell tooltip says
on the tooltip.
prevents you from
Are
blinking.
scanning.
Yeah. That's what I said. I don't know what you find so hard to believe about this,
Middle
Cap.
tower is under attack.
Kyle's.
This is not a joke. I don't understand. Can we please focus on the game here?
More fuel from our fire.
What? Stop, Cap!
That's another good joke that you made.
I'm
Focusing
trying to
on
talk.
the game.
I'm trying to talk about the game. It's a big one.
Hold on, that one
Try
deserved
harder.
a double.
Right as you did that, Legion Commander gave a try harder, which I appreciated as well.
Solar Crest soon. Operation
Ooh.
buff Madara as much as humanly possible is a go.
Yep.
Going to be a beast in the front. I think Wraith King Radiance is definitely an okay time, but it's still going to be like you're going to feel squishy running into this Gyrocopter. It's not going to feel good.
They don't have the AA this time. The one thing Singularity is really missing is that high burst from the support duo of previous. Now it's Coddle Tree. So you have a ton of control, but Darkseer in the same manner is like a damage assister. They only really have Ember and Wraith King for DPS, and neither hero is online. They've got their first damage item. They need more.
Well, Singularity making their next move off of this pipe pickup on Saberlight. They want to
Radiant's bottom
see what they can
tower
find.
is under
Thug on the
attack.
other side of the river. Might be the guy they want. Oh, in the road. Adfinem are just so confident and want to take a fight here that they're willing to roast.
Spartan Dota.
Yeah. He needs to just get your tomb off. Get your tomb off. There we go. He's got the tomb off. Job done. And he's being healed up as well. He may actually live through
Oh my
this.
God, Ember's
Coddle's
dead.
trying to deal with the tomb, but he just can't. Ember's dead. Moving on to the next one. They're going to get the Darkseer as well. And this is where the overgrowth, yeah, it keeps them in place while they're
Wait.
BKB'd, but it doesn't.
Wraith King wasn't even
Win
in that
here.
fight, guys.
Yeah.
What was that? He was farming jungle camps and heading over late. They'd already initiated. Spartan, like, this is what he does so well. He intentionally puts himself in poor positions throughout the series because he's not thinking about this game. He's thinking about how do I win this entire series. Now, runs up a high ground, completely alone. Looks like a free kill, but wait, his team's behind him. He gets his spells off, 2 kills, encores, secure the Roche, go down mid for the tier 2. It's just beautiful. This man is
Beautiful Dota.
thinking with portals.
He plays some very macho Dota.
Radiant's middle tower
And at Finem, their style of Dota is looking to take this to a game 5. This is perhaps been the most one-sided game so far. Well, I mean, I guess the game 2 that Singularity won against AM's fairly one-sided as well, but at Finem not wasting any time whatsoever to get complete map control, and the last hope is probably going to be Excalibur's Wraith King.
He's just not going to feel good about his position in fights for a long time, I think.
Yep.
Even when he has BKB, there's a significant amount of physical damage that's going to come out from Ad Finem being this far ahead.
It's just one of those carries that doesn't really pull games back when you're behind.
Yeah.
Is how I always feel like Wraith King. It's not his fault he's behind, it's just the team as a whole has had a terrible laning stage, but playing catch-up as Wraith King, yeah, you're going to get your Midas Radiance, but you're always going to feel squishy with it,
Dyer's bottom tower
and your
is under
reincarnation
attack.
is just like, well, you die twice.
They can still perhaps make some noise. They got to play a little better around the Ember Spirit, though, specifically with the Coddle. Like, I want to see double slights and double chains throughout these fights. Slight chains, give mana slight chains. Like, get that going a couple times. Hit a nice vac wall, perhaps.
You come at Finem. Ooh, they caught a glimpse of the tree there, I want to say. Alas, that is all.
Think Skelly's moving in bottom.
How
Should
are
be
they
able to
going
take
high
that tower
ground?
down.
They're not defending bottom, so I don't know if I don't really feel like there's any rush to go high ground, nor should they be putting themselves in a dangerous position by attempting to go high ground. Yes, you have Aegis, but you know, you're out farming your opponents and have basically kept them on their side of the map. And it looks like they are going to change direction. Head top, go for the outer towers, take the tier 2.
Now, this is what you want to do. Play this top Radiant Shrine, control the 2 waves. You keep Singularity in base while ensuring that you can clear out this top objective as well. Runes are spawning in 20 seconds. You want to get aggressive. You can see the lines drawn on the map. Singularity want to make sure they get at least the 2.
Well,
This is where Ad Finem are going to start TPing down bottom. He's TPing to the tier 2, so teammates can join him with a tier 1 TP. And oh, they saw the Gyro TP. They want to fight top.
Oh!
That's going to catch out Tree and Protector. Is there any follow-up damage to Shadow Shaman from the low ground? Doesn't quite have enough. Yo Rolling Odds is close. Thug couldn't get any nukes off because of the Will-O-Wisp catching him. Now Skylark in some trouble. He has still got the pipe. Being pulled back in once more. Will-O-Wisp about to expire. And they have disengaged. Gyrocopter, the second that fight started, immediately ran towards him. Didn't waste any time. Didn't even pick up the bounty rune. He just says, I don't want my team taking a fight without me. When you're the strongest here in the game with an Aegis, you got to be there.
It's a bit disappointing if you're Singularity that Skylark just lived so easily through all that. Yeah.
With force. We'll see if Madara looks to continue pressuring this high ground with a minute and a half left on Aegis. Skylark even joining him on the high ground. That's how confident they are.
Nice
Nice.
back
Stun. But that says a lot when they don't even try and follow up a nice combo with any kind of aggression. They are just trying to delay and stall out this Aegis.
Keep on, you're playing into a tree. So if you're going to make this move, you really need to accept you're going to have to team fight here as Ad Finem, because you're not chipping away at a tower against tree. So either commit or go back to farming, but make up your mind.
They are. They're going back to Farmer Car.
There you go.
They didn't even do any damage to the tier 3. They're happy. They forced everyone to come back to defend, I guess. And we'll then send the Gyrocopter once again back to the bottom lane. Looking for the Satanic as his next item pickup. Gotta be careful. Again, they see that Gyrocopter TP bottom, and SNG immediately look to find initiation. Spartan gets the Tombstone off on the high ground as well. Nicely placed here. Skylark is there. Doesn't have to press the attack anymore. He's been rooted up. Gyrocopter making his way from the bottom lane. Still a little bit far away. Excalibur gets caught in the Serpent Wards, but does manage to break his way out. Jailbreak is successful, and Ad Finem with Gyrocopter rotating in. They want to catch and find someone more, but no blink on Skylark means their catch is a little bit limited.
Oh, they smoke right back in.
Oh, Skylark, I think, scouted that one, though. Yep.
It's a 4-on-5.
They have the Will-O-Wisp coming up with the TP.
MNT, he's just standing still. Got caught sleeping, it looks like.
Dire's middle tower.
Legion Commander may be dead as well. I don't think you want to fight this one. They just lost the Aegis. That's why they smoked back. They knew this Aegis was expiring, and they wanted to punish that Finem, and they do just that.
You can't teamfight into Singularity like this. You need to try and create some sort of space with your gyro first, have the tomb down, and then get a pincer going from the other ad Finem heroes. But it's again that same issue where they've got effectively 3 supports. The LC has Pipe Solar Crest, no initiation tool, even though he's so fat. Like, he was top net worth. Now he's 4th place. I blame the lack of personal selfishness.
Remnants forward.
Jukes the ult from Lina.
Yeah, Excalibur, he's got Reincarnation, he's trying to frontline.
Oh my, another stun.
Another vacuum, nicely played by the Darkseer. Madara in some trouble, has got the BKB, he's going to turn and fight with the flak. He's doing huge damage here, has cooldown in a couple of seconds. Wraith King needs to get the hell out of there, but he's dead already, and uh-oh. Darkseer is down. Meanwhile, in the low ground, Mage is out of Remnants. Finds a DD rune, that'll give him some bottle charges, and it looks like he's being ignored.
Bottom tower.
And now they go to push.
Yep.
You got the 2 cores? What kind of fight was that? They're just diving tier 1. Buyback from Skylark that was probably unexpected, but that is... You don't have Coddle ult. You don't have Tree ult. What are you doing?
Luckily for Ember, Thug barely missed the Invis LSA initiation, or he probably would have just died at the start of it. I think that's why I was so shocked to see him just go remnanting forward, because it was as the Lina popped out of Invis. But no high ground attempt going to be coming up for
Dire's
this.
bottom tower is under attack.
He had a BKB on the Wraith King there as well. Either he didn't have it or he didn't get a chance to use it. Either way, strange things afoot. BKB on the Ember now. So this is where it's getting scary now for AF. Like, the issue they have is that the supports in Lilina are so squishy. These BKB cores can just get directly on top of them. And if you kill the Rasta, their control disappears. Madara is still most of their damage, and he doesn't have that, like, true carry item yet. He's got to get the Satanic first.
Getting this Blink on Legion feels essential, given that you're playing against these BKBs. You need to get a Blink Jewel off.
Yeah.
And set your team up to blow someone up. Shaman as well. Like his hexes with the Aether Lens and all his cast range is going to be crucial, since that's how you play against these BKBs and catch people like Ember. They don't have the best save on Singularity.
Yeah. Well, they've got great team fight. The Root and the Coddle ult, I think, count in a way as combo breakers. It's the issue is the lack of damage, because Darkseer, Coddle, Tree, you all fill the same kind of role in a team fight. They need the raw damage to come from one of their 2 cores, who simply just need more time to be able to provide the damage necessary to get these kills. Because right now you're just tickling at Finem. They have to make mistakes and be isolated as 2 or 3 if you really want to find a win.
Madara just got Satanic, so he gets even more unkillable in these fights given the damage output situation.
Is under attack.
Well, 21 Gyro.
Okay, I think this is going to be one of your biggest peaks as Ad Finem. You have Daedalus, you have the Satanic, you have the Blink Dagger finally at 30 minutes on Legion Commander.
DNZ. That's away. They have an idea that he's in here.
You catch one hero. This is all it takes. Just one.
There we go. No Jewel and everything. Skylark wants some damage.
So that should... Well, I guess
They're
you gotta
waiting
wait for
Roche. Yeah, they're just going to be farming and shoving lanes until Roche is back, I think is your best bet. And Mjolnir's coming on Gyro, which is, I think, another like decent upgrade as far as items go that you're close to. Lena's level 20 as well. Not too shabby.
It's not getting any easier.
For Ad Finem, you think?
Ad Finem, it's just a matter of when are they actually going to go for the jugular.
Yeah.
I
just don't feel there's a rush. Like, I've played this Wraith King so many times. You feel kind of useless in this situation. Like, you had to go this BKB because of all the disables, but you don't do much damage in a fight. You're going to get this AC, but even then, you still feel like you're always an item behind Gyrocopter and can never fight it.
That is true, but my theory is if they can kill the Lina, they're going to win the fight, and that's going to be their goal. If you think about it, the flat comes out. All of the Singularity heroes have a method of avoiding it. You can invis yourself on Tree, Darkseer surges away, Coddle is Glimmer, Ember ports out. Like, you're not really able to just run into a fight and kill everybody like the Gyros of old. There's too much mobility on the Singularity side. So think of more on Thug, making sure he does not die. Went for that Daedalus early again, so high damage. But if he gets initiated on, things change.
Yep. Yeah, he's going to have to use that BKB very well in these fights.
But fortunately, he also has some save mechanisms in the Soul Rip as well as the LC press the attack, and they have some, like, he has some pretty good frontliners to work around. Madara is so tanky with his BKB Satanic, he can do it very easily. You've got Skylark, who's going to be looking for the fast initiation. Like, they have better AoE initiation on the side of Singularity, but Ad Finem should always have the quicker jump, I guess, in that regard.
Gyro just blows me on it. MNT maybe going to be the one to get jumps. Madara, Tango running in, has the BKB. He's going to break out, deal with the Ignis here. Nice duel on the Treant Protector. That's going to burst him down. And Madara is just deleting absolutely everyone. You can't stop this, man. It's a full team wipe. Wraith King will have one last hurrah, but nothing much to be said for that one. BKB TP out. Oh! Okay, he's actually out. Stops the team wipe from happening. Gutsy TP, very close to a kill.
You know how much damage Madara would have done to his team to the old wall of replica?
Yeah.
When you spawn an illusion, it does damage. They spawned so many illusions because he was just killing them all so quickly.
Yeah, that was also really cool where they put the Coddle ult down, but Madara just pops Flak BKB and kills it while still dealing full DPS. That was really heads up. That cements their win. But, I mean, after I just got done talking about how they could all avoid Gyro's damage, all 5 took Flak hits 6 times and died, so... That's that.
Yeah, the fact they jumped MNT, if they managed to jump Madara with their stuns and burst him, like, yeah, that's how you can win that fight, but... Wraith King does still have Reincarnation as it did come off cooldown, and they're going to find a better target. They get the Darks here. LSA will catch up both as well, and immediate buyback comes into play. Will they go for a second Wraith King? Nice Blinding Light, pulls Madara in deep, but he's got Satanic as well as the Aegis. He's just going to turn and fight. He's now been overgrowth, pops a BKB. Just to get out of this one, Excalibur luckily has that Glimmer to keep him alive as Darkseer narrowly avoids the dieback. Spartan. Alright. All according to plan for Ad Finem. They let Spartan go, and they get out with a tier 3 tower and a sizable advantage. Assuming they actually get out. Looks like they need to coordinate this retreat together. As MNT will maybe be a sacrifice himself. DK being in is Mage. Madara finds an Invis Rune. Skylark will blink out, and it looks like it'll just be the 2 supports going down. A dieback on Shadow Shaman. Oh, they see Madara. They've got a sentry here.
Oh.
Nice try, and they're going to buy back. They want to take this fight. Skylark has got the jewel here. Who's he going to go for? There is a Reincarnation available. He's going to go in the Ember here. This is a big kill if they can get it. Mage, has he got the survivability? The LSA is going to follow up. The jewel, the Laguna Blade. They get the kill with the overwhelming odds. And Excalibur still looking to hold his ground and take this fight underneath the wall of replica. This is about as good as it gets for Singularity, but they just can't kill anyone. Leah getting very, very low, but is on the outskirts of this fight with the Daedalus just right-clicking away. Once again, these Glimmer Caves, the detection just not there for Ad Finem. Their supports both dead means nobody seems to have any detection whatsoever. Gyrocopter. Mage is back. He bought back here, and Gyro will be forced to use that BKB turn and fight Excalibur. They just die here if he's not careful. The homing missile's going to pop him, and yeah, he's just dead. Pexu as well as Mage could both be in some trouble themselves. TP out, going to be close. Ooh! Jewel was a couple seconds away as well. That, not quite what Singularity were hoping for. If they didn't buy back Ember, it would look okay, but they didn't really get enough to justify what they invested into that fight.
This Satanic Gyrocopter is so sick because it would work a lot better for Singularity back in the previous patches when you couldn't lifesteal off of illusions.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But like
That's
he
so
not only has the AoE clear for the illusions, but he's also able to lifesteal off of them in situations like the Wraith King died. He didn't really have a good target to hit at that point. He was hitting illusions, will still lifesteal.
Gyro already level 25. He's ready to rock and roll. One of the racks he goes. Blinding Light being spammed out, but doesn't feel like there's a whole lot they can do to stop this from happening. Ember just can't afford to risk his life.
Nope.
So much attack speed with the Solar Crest and the Press the Attack on Madara. Take the racks, get out. They can fall back and maybe go for the shrines to set up for the next Roshan. Yeah, they're already pinging that shrine.
Yeah, there's been enough games going late in this series for both teams to be very aware that no game is over until it is 100% over. Ad Finem certainly not going to leave anything to chance here.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
Still a little while for Roshan, at least 4 minutes, so if they really want to play it safe, which given the stakes is likely the case, we could be in for a period where they just try and play the map control game. They've got the 2 cliff wards down, one on the top side, one on the bottom side of the jungle. These are the 2 ideal wards to have to just keep Singularity in their base. You play around your vision, if they come out, you kill them.
Dire's top tower
All
has
right.
fallen.
Oh, I see Excalibur. This... Oh, nope, they're going to go for the other one.
Darks here instead. Much better target for them here if they can get him.
Well, guaranteed kill potentially. The Will-O-Wisp was used. Skylark can follow this up with a jewel. Doesn't end up using it as they kill off Hexio, and they're pinging mid. Say, you know, we don't need Aegis. We're just going to go in without. No creep wave joining them just yet. Tombstone not used in the most effective way, but it could bait out the start of a fight. Flak damage just chipping away at everyone. Gets Pexu down nice and low. Good vacuum wall with the overgrowth. Immediate BKB from Madara. He's just going to turn and fight. Wants Saberlight first. Mage goes charging in with his own BKB. Looking to slide and space his way through this one. He wants Spartan to start things off here. The heals, the sustain. It's not enough for Finem, who've lost 2 supports. We've seen this one before where the supports get burst down at the start and the rest of the cores just have to kind of run.
Singularity will have a fresh breath of life if they can get to level 25s on their cores.
Yep.
It's really important on Wraith King. The Ember Spirit is going Aghanim Scepter, so it's really big for him to get that respawn time. Or restore time, rather. Oh, actually, no, he didn't. He picked up a Sacred Relic. He's going Divine.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Ambitious.
Oh, that's... I just don't feel like Ember's a great Rapier hero these days, considering the rest of the build. Like, Rapier on Ember felt okay when it was like the dataless Battle Fury type builds, but I mean, they are in a very desperate situation, so we'll see how it pans out. Madara also Rapier queued up, by the way. Not that he'll be buying it that soon necessarily.
Hell, even level 18 for the Darks here, considering how big these Wall of Replicas have been with the combo of the Overgrowth, having them last longer and do more damage, that's it's going to be a significant contribution.
Only Lina with buyback at this current time. Once again, Finem just run down mid lane. They immediately run towards where their ward is. They kind of know where the safe part of the map is for them.
I think they're strong enough now to just fight whenever they desire. There's just nothing they need to worry about no longer. They just need to make sure Madara doesn't die. And he can't. He has Butterfly. Like, how does this man die? He can be stunned fully as long as he gets his Satanic off at a point, when he will because of press the attack. And he's going to be just fine.
I think the key thing is more MNT with his positioning. He's 1-8 and 16. I feel like most of these fights he's just dying way too fast.
Yeah.
Considering his items, he should be able to get a lot of spells off in these fights.
Yeah, the game is not as close as the score makes it seem because the 2 supports of Finem make up 16 of their 18 deaths. Jeez. The cores have been playing great, and they've had really no issues getting their spells off, dealing their damage.
Constant pressure in this top lane thanks to the Meteor Hammer of Treant Protector. Very pesky. Bounty runes did spawn as well recently. Looks like Finem getting 3 out of 4 of those. As they continue to wait for that next Roshan, which it will be at least 20 seconds. Potentially any time in the next 3 minutes after that. They're going to smoke up. Shadow Shaman, BKB. Fresh BKB too, so.
I like that they're not getting lazy in their positioning, and they continue to stick together. You're stronger in team fights. Don't let Singularity ever get the pick off that lets them come back into the game.
X from afar with the Serpent Wards drop. They just want to focus down this Rax. Spartan, he's dropped the Tombstone next to the Serpent Wards. It's very hard to engage into this. Excalibur just going to start dealing with these Serpent Wards, but has to be careful. They can take his first life very cheaply here. Saberlight doesn't quite get the vacuum he was hoping for. Only caught the Gyrocopter, and he may pay the price for this one. The Will-O-Wisp isn't there in time to really help him out. Excalibur lost his first life. He pops the BKB on his second. Just wants to kill off the Tombstone, but the right-click damage with the Daedalus and the Jewel. He's just going to die to this one. Does he have buyback? He's going to need to use it if they want to defend, but no BKB, no reincarnation for 25 seconds. And Rax will be claimed. Finem find the timing they don't even need the Aegis for. Aegis too damn freaking strong. Dara needs to be a little careful. Pops the BKB. Gets a little antsy, and I think now is where they are going to be backing off and waiting out that Roshan time. No chase from Singularity, who still do not have their Darkseer.
Yeah, all good. Use your BKB. Just no reason to force things any further.
It's a... Yeah, we've been having issues with the coordinator. A lot of people have been saying there's rumblings of a potential update coming soon. If these goddamn teams
Yeah, I've been really
finish the series.
really waiting for that eye patch. We're an I, right? We're I is next.
Yes.
Whatever number is. Yeah. Can't wait for some +1 armors and all that. It's gonna be a hype patch.
Oh, iPad. I thought you meant
Aye.
like pirates.
Aye.
It is
No.
Halloween. Spooky season.
What's the patch number on now?
I'm looking for my boo. Huh?
What patch number are we on? So
7.22G.
22G. I think it's H.
7.22H, because H does come before
Yeah.
I. That would make sense.
Yeah, so 7.22i coming soon. Look out for those
Yep.
+1 armors and small tweaks. It's going to be hype.
Are you saying that there is going to be the Dota patch
Dota
after the
patch.
qualifiers?
One would hope.
Before the next minor major?
I would really hope so. Why?
Not bad at all.
I like honestly, I just assume it's after the main.
Oh, were you
mi-
just
minor
wondering?
major.
Were you
But,
just
like,
wondering if we should complain about that or not? You're like, hey, are we complaining it's not happening yet, or it's happening too soon?
Yeah, which one am I complaining about right now?
Just
Bob?
let me know. I've got the weapons. I've got my keyboard. I'm ready to complain. Just tell me what I got to say.
You're a true warrior.
All right, so now that we have a pause, I think it's time to go off topic. Who do you think the best player in Dota to have retired too soon is? Like, who would have made it as in the scene? Could have been casting, could have been playing, coaching, whatever. But he was left because there was just no money in the game when he was active and switched to do other stuff.
I mean, there's got to be some Dota 1 players in that list. It was
Like 2 at TI1, I don't know.
there was this really good American player. I forgot his name now. Grant would instantly call out his name. I know he would.
The
He
Hub?
was like super talented. Wasn't painted gold because I know he went to Han and stuff. He was
Infinity,
not that
maybe?
good.
It was good.
Infinity.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
I don't know.
It wasn't him though.
It wasn't him.
Favy, a.k.a. Blow Your Brain. Tried
Oh
to make it in
yeah,
Dota.
Favy.
I love
Remember
that guy.
name.
He reminds me of when I used to play World of Warcraft, which I would highly recommend you don't play for many reasons, some of which are topical, but mostly because it's addictive and you'll never have a life outside of it, even though it is incredibly fun. There was this Russian paladin tank that was like the most reliable dude. Like, we needed him desperately. There were never enough tanks. We started as like a pub guild. And he was Russian, and he worked laying track. And he would show us photos because he would raid at our times because he worked overnights. And then he would get home from work and raid, like, early in the morning. Fucking incredible guy. But yeah, he would work from like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. literally laying pipe.
Is this World of Warcraft pipe, or are we talking real life pipe?
Like,
I
he would
mi- I
lay it
missed
down. I
9%
guess
of the
it's
story.
tracks, not pipe. But he would say, at the time I didn't really understand. I think he might have been inferring something else because he used to say that he loved laying track, but he really loved laying pipe. And I was like, but you're not a plumber, but you don't do anything with pipes. And he said exactly. And I'm still not really sure what he was driving at. But it's okay because we're back in. Oh, where's the pause? Timeout. Let's play some ads. If you didn't get an ad, you're using ad block. You should turn that shit off because Gods needs your money, but so do these teams. So let's give them our attention as Singularity look to hold out what appears to be an almost certain Game 5 that would be coming up next. In the event the Greeks can take it down, much like they did the Carthaginians back in the days of old.
Much like they did their economy of the days of recent.
That's rude. And besides, we all know that was the EU's fault.
I'm not even going to pretend to be informed on this issue. Here we go. Smoked up Singularity. They're wondering about a Roshan. It could be up any time. They're trying to contest it, although it is still a minute left. And Skylark and Madara in the front lines. These are just heroes you don't want to go on first. And they're going to, let Madara run at them. DNZ needs to be careful. If he gets scouted out here, the leech seed should reveal his position. They're going to miss.
I think he was fearful of his allies getting jump-dueled.
Yeah.
So he wanted to cancel the blink. That was a cute little play.
Did they just not have dust? Yeah, MNT had dust. Only sentries on Spartan.
Oh, wait, I want to give a shout out to Saberlight for playing Darkseer. This hero sucks. It's really not fun to play right now, and he's done all right. He's got like 4 AoE Centaur stuns, but what's this hero do? Let's find out.
Let's...
Just go into top if you're at Finem.
That may be the call. I think they really want this Roche first, or at least to fight. Fighting around Roche is on much more even terms than fighting around like the Radiant High Ground. So they'll, even if Singularity come to contest this one, they'll happily take a fight. AC on Lena now. Level 25, gets that attack range. Scan is on. This is it. Singularity. They've got to win this fight. Spartan is doing Spartan things. He's going to scout this all out. Gets the tomb on the high ground where the Ancients are. And now they're going to go chasing, looking for kills. Jewel will catch out the Wraith King. They've got to take this fight now, but they're fighting into an Aegis potentially. The Wraith King, he's trying to turn and do what he can here. The first slide, the Legion Commander goes down. Not quite the start of this fight that we're hoping for. They're going to lose Spartan as well. Gyrocopter has got the Aegis. Hasn't used his Mjolnir proc yet, but it looks like he wants to go on Excalibur, who pops a BKB, looking for the TP out with the Glimmer Cape, the Invis. He gets out once again. There's BKB TPs. And that was a buyback on LC.
Is it just the offlaners who bought back? That is.
So.
Yeah.
They still have Aegis on Madara, though, so Ad Finem Siege almost assuredly coming to this top lane, and a Rapier also coming. He is all in, by the way. No buyback, no money.
No need.
Nothing to back him up other than his own cojones.
I'm sure this is going to go fine. They have a big advantage, but I could see how this is how you throw the game. Is going high ground thinking we're just going to get megas.
Oh my god, that's a dieback.
Whoa. And they're going to take this fight.
That's gonna
Madara
be a
goes
dieback
in.
too.
Gotta be so careful how this fight goes down, but he's got a Rapier. He just does too much damage. Down goes the Darkseer. Wraith King could be next. They've got to go in and try and save him here. He's got no buyback. He gets like 3-shotted by Madara. Yeah, the Rapier's working fine, but I do see your point, Cap. This does feel like it's maybe riskier than necessary. And, well, he's found a new target. Madara's just styling at this point. GG is called. Game 5, here we go. The Dota don't stop here. We had 5 games in China as well, and we're going all the way in Europe to see who's going to be coming out to Los Angeles, California.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
I cannot wait.
We're
getting frisky in the European region. We've had, what now, 2 straight minor qualifier finals going to the 5th game?
Yeah.
It's
SEA only
unbelievable.
went 4, but China did go 5. So it's very competitive, as these minors often are, I think once, like, the top tier 1 Dota, like, when a team gets ahead, it's very convincing. It's a lot more balance, and I guess the mistakes see a lot more comebacks in these tier 2 games. Who takes it? What do you guys think? Who's your money on? Any bold?
I have no idea. I have no idea at all.
I felt like Singularity was going to win the series. The first game going against them, and then now this 4th game where drafts, they picked the Darkseer. They figured out all they had to do is ban Axe.
Yeah, there's got to be something better than Darkseer to replace Axe. It does not work the same way.
It makes me question whether or not Singularity is going to be able to pull it out. I think if they just have an even or, obviously better draft, like I think they have this against Ad Finem. But who knows? Ad Finem seems to be a team that plays on momentum as well. They have these amazing comebacks for a reason. I think mentally they're a stronger team for sure.
Yeah. Oh, their mid to late game, their team fight seems way more solid. Like I feel like you visibly see some of the nerves getting to Singularity at various times with some of the mistakes they're making.
Ad Finem do weird things, but it's stuff that they would do.
It's intentionally.
Exactly.
Like, it's their game
it's just
plan.
how they play.
Like Spartan's bad positioning is how he plays, and it actually leads to a lot of great plays. Like he's a fun guy to watch.
Exactly.
All right. Game 5, it's happening. One game remains. NA starting soon, but we got to finish up Europe first. We'll be back after a quick break.